Good morning, TaxBots. I'm Justin Spicer from the Ohio State Legal Services Association, and I'm here with Megan Sullivan, Managing Attorney and Director of the Low Income Taxpayer Clinic at the Legal Aid Society of Columbus, and Luke Minek, Staff Attorney in the Low Income Taxpayer Clinic of Southeastern Ohio Legal Services. Today, we're going to be talking about how to make sure your address is up to date in case you need to prove it to the IRS. Feel free to leave any comments or questions below, and we'll answer whatever we can. Luke, to start out today's session, let's talk about why it's important to keep your address up to date with the IRS.
So if your address has changed, you should let the IRS know so you can make sure you receive any tax refunds or IRS letters. The IRS usually does business through the mail. If you do not receive what they send you, you may miss out on important information or deadlines.
So Megan, how do I let the IRS know my address has changed?
Generally, the address on file with the IRS is the one listed on your most recently filed tax return. If you change your address just before filing your next tax return, just enter your new address on the return when you file. When the IRS processes the return, they will update their records. But if you change your address at any other time, you can fill out a change of address form, which is called a Form 8822. You can find the form by going to irs.gov/form 8822. You can also write to the IRS and provide them with 5 things: your full name, your old address, your new address, your social security number, and your signature. You might want to add the date there too. You can send that letter to the address where you would normally file a tax return. Finally, you can reach the IRS by phone and provide the same information, but keep in mind phone delays and hold times at the IRS are usually very high, so it may be tough to reach them by phone.
It is also helpful to tell the post office that services your old address that your address has changed. They can help you complete a change of address form and tell you about options for having your mail forwarded to your new address. You can go to your local post office in person or fill out a form online by going to usps.com and clicking the Change My Address option under the Quick Tools section.
So Megan, let's say I filed the change of address with the IRS. How long will it take them to process it?
It can take 4 to 6 weeks for a change of address request to be fully processed by the IRS.
So Luke, are there any other places I might want to update my information when I change my address?
Yes, there are a couple other situations where you'd want to make sure your address on file is up to date. Like if you have children that live with you for more than half of the year and you are separated from their other parent, or there's a possibility that someone else will claim them on their tax return. You should update their address at school, daycare, the doctor's office, after school activities, any religious institutions like a church, temple, or mosque, and anywhere else they go on a regular basis. If you get food stamps, Medicaid, or other benefits through Job and Family Services, you should also update them about changes. The easiest way to do this is to create or log into your account with JFS at ssp.benefits.ohio.gov. You'll click the Access My Cash, Food, and Medical or Child Care Assistance, and you'll click Report a Change to My Case. Make sure that the address on record is the address where you and the kids live. You can also call your county Job and Family Services at 844-640-6446, but keep in mind hold times are very long right now.
So Megan, let's say I have kids and I'm not concerned anyone else will claim them on their tax return. Why would I need to update all these addresses in that case?
The IRS can look at a return for many reasons, including random audits. If they look at a return that claims the earned income credit or other credits involving a child claimed on the return, they'll ask for proof of the child's address. Separated parents who haven't kept their kids' addresses up to date may run into problems. The IRS prefers records from doctors' offices and schools and other businesses or government agencies. It'll be much easier to prove your case that the children lived with you for more than half the year if you make sure your child's address is up to date and is the same address as yours as soon as you move or as soon as you know there's a change to where the child will be living for more than half of the tax year. You might also want to keep a copy of any forms you fill out to change the address on record, because that could also be proof for the IRS.
And if you're just now realizing by watching this video that your address or addresses were out of date for 2022, and you're worried about it being an issue for your 2022 tax return, there are other ways you can prove your children live with you. Our May 20th, 2022 Facebook Live video about EITC exams has some great ideas there, so check out the video on our Facebook page.
Okay, great. Good information. Thanks, Megan, and thanks, Luke, and thanks to everyone for listening. The video of this session and all the others in our tax chat series are available on our Facebook feed. And join us next time on October 7th when we return to our ongoing small business and self-employment series. Thanks, everyone, and we'll see you next time.